I'm going to try to stay up close to this microphone so you can hear me. I did order another one, um, an external mic for this computer because I don't even know where the mic is. But oftentimes when I'm talking on a live stream, y'all can't hear me. But Asia is being Asia. We had a mess up with the charts. This is not really the low. The low is actually, this is the open here. Or no, low is actually here at 1275. So this is the entire Asia range here. I'm hoping to get a push. I did get caught up in this one right here, and I had a loser because we poked that high. We put up a breaker. We had the breaker and we had the validation here. I'm gonna just move this over for a second. Right there is our breaker, and our fair value gap beneath the breaker was right here. A little bit off on the line, and we did validate it. So I entered here and I got smoked. So that's my first loss. And then we double tapped the high and we put up another breaker with a fair value gap to the downside. Right there. 4-hour high has been taken. Regular trading hour high has been taken. And now we're offering lower. The 1-minute chart is looking really good. This is a 5-minute chart over here on the micro side. 5-minute chart on the micro side, just in case you couldn't hear that. And we are putting up fair value gaps to the downside, have volume imbalances on both of them. That's looking real nice. So we want that to be respected. We don't want candle bodies closing back up there. I watch several different things. When I step away from the computer, I'm watching Thinkorswim on my phone. And something I noticed, I don't know if Topstep will show it or not, but let me shrink this back down. And just the bid ask. See if it's showing the bid ask. Yeah, right here it's showing the bid ask. And it'll show the current price somewhere. No, it's up here. You can't really see it. On Thinkorswim, you can see it a whole lot better. When the bid ask is lower than the current offered price, oftentimes price will continue down. This returned a round number. That's very common. I want this candle body to close below this dotted line. Even though it's above it now, it hadn't closed. We just filled in those volume imbalances. And this candle has 11 seconds. It could close below it. If it doesn't close below it, I might go ahead and kill the trade. We did take out this low on the 5-minute chart. I think we'll be okay. But that, as you can see, my account is pretty far depleted, so I don't want to take a whole lot of risk. I'll just pocket what money I have. So we did end up closing above this fair value gap. The one that started the chain down was this one way up here. If it goes all the way up there, I'm in trouble. I'm going to be in the hole. So I'm going to let this next candle finish. Just making sure we didn't, if it continues up and starts reaching up into here, I'm just going to kill the trade. But I'm going to let this candle finish and just see what happens next, because this looks like a push back to the upside. But I have a gut feeling that we're going to offer down at least the middle of the range, or at least to 80. Ideally, I would like to see it go all the way to the bottom of the range, which is here. So you consider we opened at about 26,028, pushed down to 1275, and then we worked all the way up to here, almost 100 points. So half of the range would be here at 68. These candles are not right. Topstep has got the time thing, I guess. I don't know what it was, but something messed them up. And their charts didn't even start printing candles until 7 o'clock. At 6:55 is the first candle that printed. That's New York time. So that would be 5:55 or 5:54 Texas time. Okay, so I'm not hating this candle. I think we are going to try to push down further. Just have to watch this real close. I'm trading MNQ, but I'm monitoring NQ over here. My buddy Muhammad, he's the one told me I should do that, and I've been doing it ever since. He's one of my viewers, and I think that was good advice because I've seen MNQ come down and take a low or go up and take a high, and NQ doesn't, and vice versa. NQ comes down, does not take the low, but NQ does take the low, and this one doesn't. And then price goes ahead and zooms on up. And I'm looking at just this thinking, oh, we got to take that low before we start moving higher. Well, the big contract already did take it. That was a scary little push up. Um, this one right here. And we did create kind of a relative equal high on the 5-minute chart. It kind of went right to that fair value gap on the 5-minute chart, which is a whole lot more powerful signal than the one on the 1-minute chart. So we can say we want this one to be respected now. Yeah, that's pretty close. And so far it is being respected. But those are dead equal highs right there. So they may get tapped into one more time. I'm not confident they're going to get touched again, that I would kill the position and then try to put in another entry here. But it is possible that we'll come back up into here. Because my account is so far depleted, I think I'm going to go ahead and move my stop to break even. I may get smoked. I may end up getting a $4 trade, but I like the way this PD array is looking. I really do. If you haven't gotten in yet, trying to get in at the top of this would be a good place. It may not revisit there, but at least you'd have a chip at a chair. On the 5-minute chart perspective, we had this fair value gap right here. We just now filled it in, and we're kind of inverting it. Let's just put a mark on it. I'm going to do it over here on this one, though. So this would be that 5-minute fair value gap right here. And I'm going to make it blue so we can tell it's a bullish. And let's just switch to 5-minute, make sure I got it right. I'm a little bit high, including the volume imbalance. And then also this wick went up too high. So there we go. That would be the 5-minute if we were going to say we're going to have an inversion 5-minute fair value gap, which would put our center point all the way up to 102. We could get stopped out here. The 850 macro starts in 1 minute. Typically during a macro, if we're going to move that 20 minutes, 10 minutes before the top of the hour, 10 minutes after the top of the hour, sometimes it'll go up first and then down. Sometimes it'll go down first and up, depending on which direction. And sometimes it goes nowhere. Sometimes it just ranges that entire 20 minutes. But that is an important time to watch. The 20 minutes at the top of the hour, starting at, this will be Texas time 7:50. New York time is 8:50. all the way until 9:10. A really important time to watch. This to me is my first target. We're already past the 25% of the range, so this will be our first target at 68. I'm going to pull up the live stream in my phone. Oh, there it was. And pull up the live stream in my phone. Just make sure y'all can hear me. And if you have anything you want to put in the chat, I can respond on my phone. I'll monitor the chat in there. So if you have any questions, just feel free to put them on there. So we just took the 5-minute low we just created. This would be our next target for low hanging fruit at 83. An 80 back to round number rotation is really common. So this may be a situation where I have to get out and in, out and in. But I don't know. We'll see. So far, the 750 macro is wanting to push down, and I'm wanting to let it. We do have a volume imbalance right here on the 5-minute chart. If we do revisit this area, that might be where we would go. Good place to enter or possibly add. I want to see a more decisive move down. Leave a low before I would consider adding. Like if it came down and almost took this low, because it's hard to tell on this because of we don't have all the candles. We only have a small portion of the candles. But there was actually a push all the way down to 50. And then this run up started. So we don't have a full picture of the price, the PD array on Topstep. I might could pull it up. I'm actually involved with Ninja Trader. I'm going to be in the Ninja Trader arena. And I bet you we can pull up a decent chart over here. Let's see. Yeah. And it would give us all the candles. I'm watching the NQ right here. It's at 90, 91. Yeah, this one will show us all the candles. I may have this filtered to only show me regular trading hours. Let me double click it. Yeah, I've got it regular trading hours only. So let's go to 24-hour. And that'll give us a look at what we've got going on right now. Nah, no, it's not. MNQ December, 1 minute. Yeah. So we opened with a little bit of a gap up. And we're not even close. Let's go to the end of the deal here, guys. So yeah, it is pushing back up. We're at 88. This showing 99. Are we off on our? Yeah, this is showing 89, 99 right now. Maybe it's not real time. We can at least get a picture of where we opened. Right there at, it looks like 20. Yeah, that was our open right there. 26, 25.25. And it looks like this isn't real time. Maybe it is. Maybe Topstep is the one that's off. But this one's showing 94.95 and Topstep is showing 91. Let's see what kind of candle print we have here. This candle printed it. Now that's showing 745. We're already past all that. So this isn't real time. It isn't showing real time. That's weird. It should be real time. Let me see if I can find a setting for real time. Maybe I need to pay for real time data. That would be really important for my trading tomorrow. Yeah. So yeah, it's not even showing real time, but we can get the open though. We can get the open. So that's good to see. So this is all the price action we've had today with a 10-minute delay. This down here would be our ultimate target. If we could get all the way down to the low of Asia session, that would be really nice. I hope y'all can still hear me. I got my thing turned down a little bit. But if you can hear me, put in the chat you can hear me or something. So we did push a little bit higher there. Let's see. This is still a 5-minute. Yeah, it is. This is the 1-minute fair value gap, but we're looking at a 5-minute chart. We did try to work back up into it, got to 95, pushed a little lower. Let me shrink that back down. Let me go to big screen. There we go. I'm on the 1-minute chart over here. We worked into that volume imbalance. There's kind of a lot of void areas, so it wanted to make sure that I'm a big believer in ICT's price being delivered by an algorithm, and it's queued. It wants to fill in any of these voids. I don't like that we haven't pushed lower here. I think we will, but I would like to see it happen quickly. I mean, we're dancing at 90. We're not even poking much into the 80s at all here. 88. This low is at 87. Come on, let's push them. There we go, right here. 2 minutes to the top of the hour. Crazy things can happen at the top of the hour. And I want the crazy thing to be fall out of bed. Next 5-minute low is right here, 84. We did take a 4-hour, put up a 5-minute fair value gap. It's all looking good. We could get back to the open. That'd go a long way to replenishing my account. Come on, you dirty rat fink, fall out of bed. It's really struggling to get any lower. that wick right there is important. It's 8 o'clock, Texas time, top of the hour. We should see a push here if we're going to push. I'm going to time stop it if we don't. I do like the fact that we're working the lower half of this, but I can see it poking these lows and going straight back up. Just keep going. Fair value gap. Nah, it's not going to leave one. So we had a little push. That was no major volume there. Not at the end of that wick. This one might have a little bit more volume bounce. If you think of it in terms of people that are long, putting their stops below each of these swing lows, then we should see, when it hits this one, we should see a pop back up, because it's filling orders right there. And then when it hits that one, we'll see a pop back up. And that may be the lowest it wants to go, and we go all the way to the moon, take out the high of the day. But it's more common for Asia to range than it is for it to run away. But it does occasionally run away. Yeah, we poked that low and we went back up, didn't we? I've got to double check my box here. Yeah, that's a fair value gap with volume imbalances on both sides. We filled it in, and then we came back down and respected it. That's a pretty good push up. And that's really the last fair value gap we've had. We ran liquidity, went back to round number, and then we've gotten below it, and we've stayed below it ever since. I like this trade. I don't know if it's going to work out, but I sure do like it. It has potential. Look at that 5-minute wick a minute. We did not. We put relative equal highs there. Why didn't we take that? You could read it two ways. We didn't have the power to even get there, or you could read it like it's leaving it and we're about to go pop it. Because I'm short, I'm going to say we just didn't have the power. But we're probably going back to it. On the 1 minute, we took that high. I wanted to leave those, but it's probably not going to. No, it's not going to. It's going to take them. Kind of looking rolly here. Kind of looking like we could possibly trade back up into this fair value gap. I think this one's on the 5-minute. Yeah, it's this one right here. think that one's the one. Let's just mark it right there. This will be the 5-minute inversion. This will be the downside 5-minute. And that's all the way back to round number. I really don't want to see it go that high. Push, you sorry devil. Let's go. Fall out of bed. Make a brand new low here. I see a few people just joined. If you were in at the open today, Topstep did not start printing candles until 6:50. That's New York time, 5:50 Texas time. So an hour, 50 minutes into the market, they finally started printing candles. And this is actually the low of the day right here at 1275. And so if Asia does a complete range from high to low, take out the pre-market low, this is going to be a real nice trade. Middle of the range is right here at 60. I said 68 earlier, and that's where I'm thinking that's where I should take at least part of my profit would be at 68. But I'm going to be watching each of these little candle ends to see if we get a bounce there. If it starts looking like it's going back to round number, I'm going to kill this one and see what happens next. From the 5-minute chart, that's what I'm watching over here on the big contract. This is the low that we're watching next. And then, of course, we'd be watching that one. I did show the Ninja Trader chart earlier. It has all the candles printed, but it is not real time. It goes to, it shows them all. And the 650 candle would be about, I guess here. Oh, this is actually on Texas time. So 550 candle would be around here. Wish it gave a little more detail. I'm wondering if I can get some add-ons here. Data preferences, advertising platforms may share. No, not from that, not from this. Not from this. I need to do that before tomorrow. Yeah, we're popping right back up. Took the highs again. We're just kind of ranging here. I don't know. I think we could go back to round number. Why aren't we pushing lower and staying that way? If y'all, well, I don't think anybody can join now. They already got 10,000. But this is starting tomorrow, and I'm going to trade in it. I'm going to try to make some money, but I do need to get this data worked out. It's only $4 a month for data, so that's not bad. The contest is free. I could use the data here and trade over there. All right, that's a good push. Now we finally took that that 5-minute low right here. We finally took it. I think that one is 84.50, and this one is 84.25. We took it by a tick. Now we could go back to the moon, or we could continue to push. This is going to be my first target right there. I want to see what happens when it gets there. I'm going to put a little bit more so I don't just completely lose my rear end on this trade. I think with this 1 minute fair value gap right here and that volume imbalance, I'm going to go ahead and go to the top of this candle right there. That should act like a line in the sand. I'll go ahead and put a box on it. Need that candle to finish first. We'll pretend like it's going to finish lower. 13 seconds. Is it going to finish lower? Are we going to leave this one open? Did have a little bit of a bounce. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got us a fair value gap to the downside and all this chop with a volume imbalance. That's nice. Do we have a similar array on the big contract? We do. It's right here. We include the volume imbalance. So that would be what it looks like over here. Looking pretty good so far for a continued move down. We'll go back to our 5 minute on the big one. You know what I need to do? I'm going to pull up the Ninja Trader again, and I'm going to go to a 5 minute and just see where the 5 minute lows are on here. Even though this one's delayed, it will give us some 5 minute lows. There's one here. Where's our crosshairs? Show me those crosshairs. Okay, so right here at 83.75, one at 78.75. Volume imbalance here at 76. Fair value gap on the 5 minute right here. Tapping into that would be right at 70, 71. We'll see how it all pans out. So just help me remember those numbers. 83.50, 78.75, and 71. Just don't look good. We violated it. Yeah, I'm killing it. I think we're just going to range here, and I'd rather have $94 than $64. If we get back up into here, I may go short again. I'll do that. I'll put a limit, sell 2 right above those candles. And we may not get filled. So let's see, this was our first one. It doesn't even show that. So I don't think these charts are correct at all, because on Ninja it showed that one at be at 83.75. This one popped 83, so it did take that one out. That shows 84.50 over here. You know, I'm not going to expect it to respect that. I'm going to watch it. I'm not going to take the trade just yet. If it goes up into that 5-minute fair value gap and rejects for more downside, then I'll take the trade. But I want to see a 1-minute fair value gap to the downside after touching it. I'll mark this up so y'all can see what we got going on here. 1-minute FEG on the downside. A 5-minute inversion fair value gap. And then this one will be a 5-minute bearish. For bearish, I just put a minus. There we go. And it's the same thing over here. Five-minute bearish fair value gap. This 1 minute already got traded through, so I'm getting rid of it. It did not hold any weight. Price did not care to respect it whatsoever. But these, you can see relative equal highs here on the 1 minute. 1, 2, 3. On the 5-minute, 1, 2. When you see that, that's a good place to try to get an entry. If we're gonna go short, we'll respect this. I'm gonna get rid of this 5-minute. We're not even calling it inversion anymore. But I would like to see it wick up into that somewhere around the middle. At least take these out and then put a nice fair value gap to the downside for possibility of more path to the downside. But you could also, I mean, we have several fair value gaps on the 1 minute here. And we have our bearish candle here, which we know it likes to return to those. Look at NQ, it's relative equal highs there. On big contract, it's not. That's why I watch the big contract. And the fair value gap is here. I mean, the bearish breaker is here. I don't think that's the same candle. 117, this one's at 116. I'm going to show you the difference there. See the difference of that PD array? This one would be our bearish, and it's at 117 quarter, so it would be more like that guy. I'm just going to move it up there. 117 quarter. And then the fair value gap is pretty much the same, 1650 to 14 quarter. It's 16 to 14 quarter. So I'll just mark it out there like that. And that's the 1 minute. After bearish breaker. There we go. We wicked into it. Look at that. Right to the center. Now what? Are we going to pull back away? I'm going to watch the 1 minute here and 5 minute here. A minute, 1 minute. Okay. So we poked it, took out these highs. We touched it to the freaking tick center. Does that mean we're going to respect it? Isn't that a to the tick center touch? It is. Uh-oh, now we pushed above it. Dang, I'm glad I didn't put an order to go short there. Oh my gosh, look at this guy. We're ripping to the moon. So there is another 5 minute fair value gap right here. This one is not the one we want to refer to. So we'll try this one. You know, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to move this one up here because this one's obviously not the one. And we know also revisiting the fair value gap that started this run is very common. Going all the way back to the breaker and making a lower high is also very common. So this could be where we're reaching to. Or we could stop here and reverse. We will know very soon. Let's go ahead and put this one here. I'm trying my best to talk loud enough. I do have a microphone on order so you can hear me better. And I don't know if it's just during when I do the live stream, when I go to play it back, I can't hear myself. But during this, like if I put it on my phone or something, I can hear myself just fine. It echoes. I've got it pulled up right now and I can show you. I can hear myself just fine. It echoes. See? It repeats. See? And now it's going to start looping. So I'm going to turn the volume back down. It repeats. So I leave the volume off on my phone. Okay, so this fair value gap is definitely being traded through. Maybe we end up respecting it with a 1 minute candle. It doesn't look like it, but maybe. I got it stretched out too far so we can't see what's up. There we go. Okay, so 5 minute, and then this is our 1 minute, and that's our breaker. Ultimately, I would like to see it go all the way to the breaker, touch it, and then fall out of bed because that would really give me a strong conviction that we're right on our direction. That's quite a push back up. Five-minute chart, it is so far respecting it pretty nicely. We did have a 1 minute candle open above it. Let's look at a higher time frame just for a minute. Let's go to a 15 minute. So yeah, the 15 minute actually does have a fair value gap there as well. No, it doesn't. 15 minute does not. Oh boy. Hold on a minute, folks. I'm just going to Sorry, folks, I got a phone call, but I'm hoping you can see what's up here. I'm putting in. I thought I had it off mute, but I guess I didn't. This is a 5 minute bullish fair value gap right here. This is 50% of the Asia range. I'm going to make it a whole lot smaller. And we reacted off of that 5 minute fair value gap. So I'm thinking maybe I should go ahead and kill this trade. I'm going to see how it reacts to the top of this candle. If it continues to push down after taking that out, then I'll hold it. But if it keeps going up and wants to work into these, I'm killing it. I like the pullback reaction, but we are above a breaker here to the upside. So just a really important part to watch right here. You don't want to go away and make a cup of coffee when it's sitting at this level, because it could rip all the way back up to round number. I don't like that. That was a volume imbalance. This candle finishes higher. We're done. So I'm killing it. Possibility of another short if we can work into this and invert. This is a breaker to the upside. If we invert it, that means we touch the bottom or the halfway point and then reject again. That's possibility of more downside to fill this, and maybe even go all the way to settlement or low of the day. But right now, it's definitely wanting to offer higher. And that's just classic price action reading right there. Breaker, fair value gap with a volume imbalance. We could go to high a day now. It may reject off of this 5 minute fair value gap, and that was as low as it wants to go. And now we go make a new high. So don't anticipate more downside until we get a signal that more downside is coming. What signal will we look for? A fair value gap back the other direction. We just filled in this volume imbalance. While I was on the phone, I was pointing these out and I was kind of typing in information. I still think there's a possibility we could have more downside, but what I think doesn't matter. I'm only up $134 after all of that. That's a whole lot of work for $134, people. We worked into that one, we left that one. Respecting this one so far. This to me says we're running some liquidity. Why didn't we make a new high? Why did we touch the fair value gap? We took out that candle right there, and then adios payal. That's algorithmic price delivery, classic, beautiful. Even during Asia, it happens. We get good stuff. Y'all making any money with this? I think since I'm not in a position right now, I can go make me a cup of coffee. I think I want one. Does anybody else want one? If you would like a cup of coffee, just put it in the chat down there. How to do, sir? How was that Japanese fest?
Really cool. A lot of fun.
You got your laptop desk here. Oh, you brought it?
Yeah.
Thank you. What is that?
Yeah.
What do y'all think, fellas? Are we inverting? I'm talking to a live stream. I've got a live stream going.
Oh,
So sorry I had to go get that coffee. It took a lot longer than expected. Things I like about this for a reversal point is one green candle in a sea of red. That's good to see. We're on a 15-minute chart over here, wick test. I wish we had the rest of these candles so we could see what happened on that first 15 minutes. Um, we made it almost to the 50% mark. This 5-minute fair value gap to me makes this ambiguous territory. Why do I say ambiguous? Because we could be respecting that higher time frame fair value gap, and we could go all the way to the moon. We do have up above a remaining portion of a regular trading hour gap, resting just below, just above a 4-hour high. And now that is pretty close to the all-time high. There's all-time high. There's that gap. Thursday's settlement, we gapped down, never filled it. That's on the daily chart. So we could continue up. We did get a nice push down there. I wish I would have got 4 micros instead of just 2, but this to me definitely says we're going for some liquidity below. But it doesn't mean a complete reversal, like what I would call a full pull. Now we've made it back to this one green candle in a sea of red. If we are in fact going to invert this breaker, we're at the center point. Algorithm will refer to these breakers as an inversion point. It could go all the way to the top of it or just to the bottom and reject. But right now, all we're seeing is upside potential. The breaker for this upside move is right here. Is that, well, are these equal? They are. So this is actually the breaker way up here. Right there. This one is not a breaker because these are equal. So we would need price to start trading above that line with a fair value gap before we are convinced we're moving higher. So these fair value gaps are not insignificant, but so far right now, all we can view this is as a run on liquidity and a further push down. Something to consider whenever it doesn't validate a breaker. That's just as strong of a signal as when it does. And when we revisit and pull away. Is that coincidence that we took out that candle? What's the high? 114.25. And this one's high? 114.50. Is that coincidence? Does that just happen by chance? Hmm. Hmm. I don't know where we're going to try to reject from. It could be here. We could work up, take out the high of this, maybe into this fair value gap. I don't see us going a whole lot higher. To me, we're going to offer down into that 50% range. If we get a good signal here, down fair value gap to the downside, I think I'll take it. Yep, I think I'll take this. I'm going to try to get in at 85. And I'm still just going to do 2. I don't want to get too much on the 85. We could push down to there and then go back up, I guess. 85 would be the center point of this candle. So that's where I'm going to try to enter for too short. Only $50 risk, so I could get stopped out. But I like that we could not push any higher here. We tried multiple times, couldn't do it. I don't know if this will be a good fill though. So now we tried to push there, couldn't get it. If that candle holds, 84.50 would be our fill. 84.50. Right there, hopefully. It's got 3 seconds on it. So that's our fair value gap to the downside right there. One tick below the high of that candle right there, right? I'll zoom in so you can see it real good. Would get us at 84.50 if we can get filled right here. One tick below the high of this candle, 84.50. That's where I got my order on this side. And we'll see if we get filled. It's looking like this is going to be a relatively aggressive push down and we may not get filled. But that's okay. We already made a little money. It's Asia. The real money's coming tomorrow morning. If you can learn to tape read like this, you can make money in any market. It's just really easy to get overconfident like I do and shoot myself in the foot. It's just as easy to misread it as it is to read it properly. So far, we came down, we worked into this fair value gap with the volume imbalance, but we have not completely taken it out with candle bodies. All right, we just got filled. This is where the rubber's going to meet the road. Either I'm going to see another candle push lower or I'm about to get spanked. Keep in mind, this one didn't fill. This is our bullish breaker that invalidated and then invalidated. And so it's using that as an inversion. So far, it is inverting it. We went to the halfway point, we rejected, put up a signal to the downside. Let's see if we can get a continued move at least to this 50% mark. I would like to see us push through this 5-minute fair value gap that you can't see on this chart because of Topstep's little snafu this evening. But getting down to this 50, man, I would say that's a highly likely, highly probable scenario there. But we got to get back through these 80s first. This will be my last trade on the live stream tonight. I don't want to wear myself out and not be able to trade tomorrow, but I am going to see this one through. Hopefully it'll work out in my favor as well. It's my third trade. I think, yeah, the first one I had a loss, and then I had a win, and then I had another win. So this is my fourth trade. I'm going to write that down. I actually took a couple while the charts were not showing, hoping that it would open up and it would give me $400, but I'm sure they would take all that away as well. to see what happens next before I can mark it as a win or loss. So let me go over the types of trades. Okay. 4 types, label them. I actually started trade journaling because I have been struggling with over trading. And if I write down everything I take, and you can go real in depth, why you got into it. It doesn't have to be that in depth. Just write down, okay, I took one trade, and then give it a type. There's 4 different types. This is Miniker stuff, not mine, but I like to. The way we learn this industry is we learn it from people that have done it and know what they're doing. We can't. It's not something you can go in and just wing it and learn. I don't think. There may be some people that have been able to do that, but I'm certainly not one of them. So the way he says to classify your trades is the number 1 is a type A. You followed your plan and you won. That's the best type of trade, a type A. The second best type of trade is a type B trade. You followed your plan and you lost. Okay, so even though you lost, that's still a good trade because you followed your plan. Type C trade is you did not follow your plan and you lost. That's actually a better trade than the last one I'm about to say, which is a type D trade. You did not follow your plan, but you won. That's actually the most dangerous type of trade because it reinforces bad behavior. You don't follow your plan, but you still win, and then you think, well, I won that time, I can do it again. Which actually, following your plan is what's going to get you profit long term. And that's what we're here for, profit long term. We're not just here for a quick win. Over the course of my trading, when I was doing just stocks, I had $12,000 days. Do I have any of that money today? Absolutely not. So it doesn't really matter how much you win. You can get in here, oh, I'm going to put on 5 minis and wow, I made 10 grand. You're going to lose it if you're not following your trading plan. I guarantee it. So at some point, well, maybe you have a good day, you got lucky, you won your 10,000, and then you scale back and you say, well, now I'm going to follow my plan. As soon as the going gets tough, you're going to put on those 5 minis again, and you're going to get your butt handed to you. Most likely. Follow your plan. That will give you consistent profit over time. I had some where I did not follow my plan on this combine. I'm on this XFA, and my plan going into this one was to take it slow. I can do these micros, and I can handle the risk. I don't get too emotional about it. But when I size up, I get emotional about it. I get scared. I take off trades too early. And so I'm thinking now, well, let's trade micros. I know it's possible to have a $2,000 day trading 4 micros. And let's trade these micros and build the account up. Now, if the account's sitting at $10,000 and I'm only trading 4 micros max size, maybe I can bump it up to 5 or 6 micros without losing my mind. But if I do too many at that point, I'm going to lose my mind. I know I am. Because that's also part of the journey, learning yourself, learning what makes you lose your mind. I was up 1,000 and now I'm down 500 on the day. That makes me lose my mind. So the last piece of the puzzle is always going to be you. This is a good trading plan. The breakers, the fair value gaps, and this isn't even, I've modified a few things from what ICT does. I don't know if he picks that last up close candle or the last down close candle for his breaker, but that's what I've identified as it seems like a line in the sand, and so that's what I use. I watched a lot of his videos, and I do believe he does mention those. Um, but I couldn't tell you which video it was. I was I had it drawn out on a piece of paper from September of 2023 that I'd watched one of his videos and I drew that out because in that video he said if you can't write your trading plan on a down on a napkin, then you don't have a trading plan. Like if you run into somebody at a restaurant, you want to write down your trading plan on a napkin and you can't do it, your reversal signal or this is what I use. This when I see this, that's when I click the mouse button. If you can't do that, then you don't have a plan. And so from that point forward, well, I wrote that down that night, and then it blew underneath my entertainment center, and I hadn't seen it since. And then when I finally started looking at this, I went back to those videos, found these reversal patterns, and I drew it out again. And a couple of weeks later, I found that paper underneath my entertainment center. And I was like, well, I had the information all along, just didn't know it. This right here is a fair value gap, but these, because they're equal, I think they're going to be revisited. I really do. It may be midnight, it may be during London session, because this is moving painfully slow. But I digress. I want you to draw out a reversal pattern on a piece of paper. Tape it up to your wall above your trading desk. And if you have an opportunity to talk to another trader and they say, well, what's your trading plan? Draw it out. Say, this is what I look for. We got a 4-hour high or a 1-hour high or 15-minute high or whatever you like to trade off of. I like those 4-hour highs because we get reversals there. What did we take out here to make this reversal? We took out a 4-hour regular trading hour high. And then we had a reversal. Is that coincidence? I don't think so. And so that's kind of my trading plan. I mark those out. I wait until price gets to them. There are some other areas I take trades now, half gaps. Our whenever we did our Friday's business, we did a half gap fill and then put up a reversal pattern. See if I can find that. Yeah, we're moving down pretty nicely here. Yeah, this was Friday's afternoon low. Thursday's settlement, and then Friday's open. I think. Let's see. It may not have been. We would have to go to regular trading hours to see it. I'll go ahead and do it. Regular trading hours. This is Thursday. Yeah. So when did we open on Friday? Something doesn't look right here. Maybe it was Thursday. Yeah, I think it was this day when we did a half gap fill. This filled half the gap from here. We settled there. We opened here. That filled half the gap. And then we had a really nice reversal pattern and ended up going all the way down to here. But we did chop around quite a bit, but we had a really nice reversal pattern right here. Is this 1 minute? Yeah, this is 1 minute. So there's our push to half the gap. And then finally, we get a fair value gap that closes below. We get a touch of the breaker. That's a bearish, so I'll change it. And then that breaker held and that fair value gap held the rest of the day. We did work up into the fair value gap one more time. And this also, First Pres was a big player on this day as well. I think first presentation may have been here. But yeah, that one right there, respected it, entered. You only had an 8-point drawdown, and you're good all the way to the low of the day right there. So this was working out nicely. I think we picked a good reversal point, and I think we're going to get that 50% for sure. Could get a little lower. Let's see how we react in this 5-minute fair value gap. And this is tonight's fair value gap. So there's our 50% mark. We're getting pushing right through it. If we can fill this and possibly invert it, like make a push back up to 67 and then continue down, then low of the day is definitely in play here. It's kind of like the New York session running through its range. From the opening range high to the opening range low, that's all Asia's doing here. This is its pre-market low. The actual open for Asia would be at 6 p.m., 7 p.m. because we had the time change. So open would be right there on that candle. And I think we're beneath the open, 701.7. So we opened Asia right there. All of this other stuff was Asia pre-market, and this was the Asia open right there. So you can mark it out just like you do New York session with opening range low right there, opening range high would be the first 30 minutes of Asia, which would have been right there. And then we took the opening range high, tried again, go higher, couldn't do it, and then our reversal pattern. And so here we are beneath the opening range. We could quite possibly take out pre-market low. That'd be all right, wouldn't it? I'll take my risk off. We do have a volume imbalance on the 5-minute chart, so that could be revisited. Quite a bit of volume imbalances on the way down. It could also be revisited. Nice push. Let's get through that fair value gap, see what happens next. Ouch! Dadgummit. I just broke my toenail. This one's no longer in play. That one still is. This one's just about to fall. I'm going to enter one more short just because I like this volume imbalance as a push further down. But I may be wrong. I may get stopped. We may go back to 80. We may go back to the Asia Open. What's that? Asia Open is 82. I'm going to get above this wick right here. That would have been a much better place to add. If it gets there, I'm going to add one more. Right there in the dead center of it. And I'm going to put on $30 risk. When that fills, that'll be about $50 risk if it fills. I've only had the confidence a few times, like here, get my entry. That's that one I put on there from a few days ago. Interesting, that 50% gap fill breaker is right here where we just touched. That's kind of algorithmic too, isn't it? So that was from Thursday. I would like to have the cojones to get in a trade when I see a reversal pattern like that, put my stop right above there, or above the breaker even, and ride that thing out all the way down to, say, half gap or full pull, and don't touch it. Just stay in the trade the whole time. If it works out, great. If it doesn't work out, that's okay too. And endure this pullback knowing that that's where we're headed. Some days I can have that type of confidence. That week where I got the payout, where I really made like $12,000 that week, that was a week where I was doing that and leaving it alone with a mini and letting it just roll. And because I know my levels are good, I mean, I think we could possibly even trade back to settlement, maybe even all the way down to here if they're overnight. I don't think we're going to go ripping lower and overnight, but I think Asia could range between its low and high. Maybe this right here, this low, could be something we would go after. Is it's showing all the candles now. We were not showing all the candles before. Now we got them all. So hip hip hooray for Topstep coming in clutch. Better late than never, right? So doesn't look like I'm gonna get filled on that one. So we are pushing quite a bit further down there. But I did get the one extra one in there. So getting a few extra points per tick. One micro is $2 every point. When you're a broke joke like me, that's a lot of money. I go out in the Uber, I have to take a 5 minute ride to get $4. Here it's just got to move 2 points. So this one right here could be a point of contention. I'm actually going to put up a 5 minute chart and we're going to mark out this stuff. So this would be the one that we were working through right now. I am a little off on it. There we go. And there we go. So that's one. And then we have another 5 minute fair value gap here that was respected before. So that's definitely one we need to get through. This was when I first started watching it. And I came in here to try to get in a trade was when it pushed down right here to 50. I thought, we're going to that 4 hour high. And I came in to try to get in a trade here. And that's when I noticed the charts weren't working. Because I could have rolled that up. I could have made that money right there. But didn't, because, you can say things, Topstep's always got stuff messed up. But they're the only top prop firm that has taken the step to have its own platform. Everybody else is using, you can use AMP, you can use Tradevate, you can use TradingView if you want to pay them $200 a month to have their platform. I mean, they're offering several other people's platform, but Topstep's the only one that's been innovative enough to create their own platform. And the fact that they have glitches, I mean, that's going to happen. They're pioneers in the industry. They're the very first prop firm ever, and they're going to have some issues. They're going to have some glitches. And, we're all at the mercy of computers. That AWS, that was not Topstep. AWS was nationwide, anybody on that system. So if you're a work from home person, you're Zooming and all this, they had the day off that day because it was not a Topstep issue. It was a computer system error issue that had nothing to do with Topstep, but they still made it right and gave everybody free resets and all this other stuff, even though it wasn't their fault at all. And so I think Topstep's a really good company. Are we going to have some issues? Yes, we are. Because this is brand new stuff. This is we're in the infancy of the prop firm industry. They've been around 14 years now, and there are other people now that have started noticing, hey, that's a good model because people suck at this and they'll pay a lot of money to try to get good at it. It's a good model business wise. And so it's going to continue to grow as long as there's traders willing to give $50 a month or whatever you end up paying for your combine a month. The industry is going to continue to grow, and I think Topstep is going to be a leader in the industry from now on. I really do. Michael Patox is a smart businessman, and we're just going to have to endure the growing pains, unfortunately, because they are going to be there. Well, this one's working out pretty nicely. I'm glad we do have our candles. So this is our next fair value gap that we need to get through. I'm just going to delete. This one's no longer a problem. So we're going to use it as our next one we got to push through. And then we have the open. That would be the NWOG. New week. Opening gap. It would actually be I usually use a dotted line for that, but that's okay. NWOG. And then the settlement is not too far away from that NWOG, so we'll just use settlement. That would be the high of the NWOG, that would be the low. And we could clone that, put it down there. But working through this entire new week opening gap is a possibility. It's a pretty good size one. Right now, we're at the 50 mark. That's a psych level. We're about to take out that candle low. We could see a bounce all the way back to the high there. I'm going to go ahead and take this order off. I think we may, did we get a fair value gap? No, we just did a wick test. So this wick, 50% of it, right at 72. right around there. I wouldn't want to see it go above there for sure. I may end up killing this trade because I've got a decent amount of profit, and we are at this 5-minute wick right here. We have not officially invalidated this fair value yet. We're kind of trading right at its center right now. And it got respected once. Could be respected again. This is one of those situations where I wish I had the quihonies to just hold it. But I want that $142. But if we get down here to the open, I'll get $400. But we are respecting it. I don't know, guys. I don't know. A minute left in this candle. Will we leave a fair value gap to the downside? We already wicked into this. Volume imbalance. We got a nice clean reversal signal. We don't need to hope anymore. We already did a pretty good move. Let's see what happens next. We actually don't have to go to another chart to find the low anymore. 50% of age of range is 68. 55 seconds. It does not look like we're going to leave a 5-minute fair value gap. Maybe we will. You know, it's kind of strange. This is NQ, and we finally got all the candles on NQ, but MNQ still doesn't have them. See that? We got it here, not here. Same product, but this is just the micro of it. That's those growing pains I was talking about. I'm really considering taking it off just because of this. It's looking like we could push. We just painted that wall. We did have a fair value gap, wicked into it there. So possibly push lower. This will be an orange guy. On the 5-minute perspective, that looks real nice. As long as we continue down from here. I don't want to see any more traffic back up into this orange box. Let's look at a 1-minute chart. It's a nice touch and pull back there too. Could possibly take that wick. Just fall out of bed, guys. Come on. There ain't no sense in going back up there. Age of open. Could go back to the open. 50 may have been all it wanted. We may go to the moon here. Back to the volume imbalance and pushing higher. Bullish order block, fair value gap, working into the volume imbalance, possibly rejecting here. Volume imbalance there. That's where I have my stop. Man. Yeah, I'm taking it off. I should have just taken it off when we hit 50. No, I'm not going to take it off. because this wick, this halfway point of this wick should provide a barrier if we have continued downside, and that's why I put my stop where I did. So we should stop right there on that line. I should look at it. I think we're going to work into this, and that's right where my stop is. I'm going to move it up just a touch to the 75%. Or 75 instead of 72, 73. Because this volume imbalance right here, the high of it is at 72. The high of that candle is at 75. So we should stay below the high of that candle if we're going to have more downside. I don't like the fact that we just worked through that 5-minute fair value gap, though. And now we appear to be inverting it. Do I want a $100 bill or $30? If this candle will push and make a new low here, I've got potential. But right now, it looks like I'm going to make $34. It's a hard push at 9:30 at night. My account's too far depleted. I'm not taking a risk. I'm taking it off. All right, that was my last trade of the night, guys. $82 winner. Nothing to write home about, but I'm taking it slow. I know if I get enough $82 winners, I'll have a big pile of money in the account eventually. As long as I don't have a whole bunch of $82 losers along the way, too. I really appreciate y'all watching. Maybe I'll live stream tomorrow. I know the mic situation is an issue. I ordered one from Amazon, and hopefully it'll be coming in soon, and I can be a little bit easier to hear. But hope you're able to make some money. I'll talk to y'all next